This video is all about the competition versus general play scores report. This report will show you the difference between each of your members' general play scores and their competition play scores. It really is only effective if a player has competition scores or general play scores. If you have members that play just competition or members that just play general play, then you won't really be able to use this for that particular member. However, there may be other members in your club that this will apply to. So let's run the report, show you how it works, and you will need Excel and a laptop to run that Excel report on it once you run it through this platform. So the first thing we do is we go to the handicapping area and click competition versus general play report. This particular report requires a series of date ranges. So the first date range is the beginning. So we go to the beginning of the year, for example. So we can go to January the 2025 first, and we go to September 21st, which is a very recent date. And we click preview, and that will give us a preview of the report. Now, obviously, this is a test account, so it's only got a small amount of data, but your club may have a really long file here, all in order, alphabetical order, so you can scroll down. It might have several hundred of members on here. So in order to manage this better, you can export this to a CSV file, a comma separated variable file, which is viewed in Microsoft Excel. But before we do that, let's just quickly talk about this report. So what you have here is the member's name, member's number, their current handicap index at the date you ran the report, and how many competition scores they have in the period you've run the report for. What that is in a percentage of their total scores, the average competition score differential, the general play scores in the period, the general play percentage, and also the average general play score. So this will give you the ability to see at a view both sets of data. Once you've got that and you want to export it to CSV into an Excel format, this is what I recommend, is you click Export CSV, and it should save that for you into your Downloads folder automatically, and you'll then be able to open it and it will view something like this. So as you know, with Excel, you need to make the columns and the rows a little bit wider so you can view the data. So just make these columns a little bit wider. Membership number's not so important, so you can make that smaller. Handicap index is okay. The competition scores, competition, how much that is in a percentage, you can make that a little bit smaller actually. It's not important. That can be a bit smaller. You can make these a little bit bigger so you know the columns you're looking at. But the most important columns you're looking at here are F and I. That's the average competition play and the average general play. Okay, there's the average competition play score and there's the average general play score. So you can immediately see that Mr. Baller is 10.3 score differential average on general play and 1.7 on competition. This would imply that he plays much better in competitions than he does in general play. And of course, then once you know that, you can then manage that situation accordingly. And this is where we can help you as a handicap team at County on how you manage that moving forward. All we're doing here is showing you how to run the reports. Now let's put this in some sort of order. First of all, get rid of the zeros. So if you've got a 0 in competition score, as I said earlier, this isn't going to be of any benefit to you whatsoever. So I would put the whole file in order so you can get rid of the zeros. So once you've highlighted everything, click Data, Sort, and sort on the competition scores column. Click that, click OK, and that puts them in all numerical order. So you've got all the zeros at the top. I would then scroll down all of them, highlight them all, and just right click and delete. So you get rid of all the zeros. That way you've got no zeros there. I'd also get rid of the ones as well, because the ones really don't really give you anything to work on. It could be a one-off. So we want something at least 2 or 3 or more on each side. The first one, as you can see, Mr. Hewlett Packard. What a name that is. We delete that. And now we're left with members who have more than 2 or 3 on each side of the spectrum, and we can now look at running a proper analysis of this report. So what I would do here is I would put another column in here a little bit further away called difference, and then I would make sure we put a little simple formula in here using Excel. So we go back to our home and click auto sum, and this is all simple Excel terminology and Excel processing, which you can do on your laptop, or if you haven't got a laptop, in the office at your golf club. Click auto sum, and you want to simply take the general play scores, subtract the competition play score, and click return, and then apply that to the whole the members in the list. And you can do that by copy and pasting the formula all the way down, or a little trick is highlight over the bottom right hand corner of the cell you're looking at. You get that big bold black cross, left mouse click and drag down with your mouse, and that will drag the formula all the way down to the bottom. And then the last thing you need to do really then is to put it in some sort of order. Again, data, sort, and this time we're going to sort on the difference tab, or the column, largest to smallest this time, because we want to see the largest. And now we can see we've got some really large differences and some really small differences, but when we look at the smallest one at the bottom, it's quite a large minus. So this would imply that Kenneth Y would be better in general play than in competition, in which case by a long way, which means we may need to give him some assistance to become more competitive, but possibly some shots back. So this would be something you could talk to the player about, find out how he feels, etc., etc. What you could do as well at the other end is look at these and see that you've got Ellie Norman, 2 competition scores, massive difference between competition and general play. David Parker the same. Seve Baller's got quite a substantial amount of both. 38% of the rounds are competition, 62% are general play. So you've got a situation there where it's quite a big difference. So you could certainly be having a conversation with Seve Baller and asking them why they believe, in their opinion, their general play rounds are a higher score differential than their competition. And the response you may get is something like, I try better in competitions, I try harder in competitions, or general play, I just throw a ball down and practice a couple of different balls and practice a few things. But again, those do not comply to the rules of handicapping. The rules of handicapping state that you must play to the best of your ability. If you're practicing, don't put a score in for handicapping. So these numbers need to be ideally something like this one here, minus 0.2, around about the 0 mark, where user guides has got a 15.4 difference in competition and 15.2 in general play, and that would indicate that their handicap index is about right. Their competition and general play average is about right as well. So that's the way to use the report and the way to actually get the maximum from it. But if you need any help with how to deal with members once you've done this, then don't hesitate to contact us.